Alright, hello everybody! We are back with a video that, if you've been watching me for long enough, you may know what the series is. And you might be like, Matt, well, there aren't any new episodes out. Well, unfortunately, what has happened to me, which has taken me so long to realize, is that first of all, the last chapter for this game, episode 4, on my PC, for some reason, got corrupted. It doesn't exist anymore. I had my save file, and it's just gone. I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened. And then I was like, oh, that sucks. Well, at least I could go back on my YouTube video and, make the same choices. That's going to take a bit of time, but, it's worth it just to keep consistency for my first playthrough. But what happened that I didn't realize, and I can't explain to this moment how it happened. I have no idea what happened. I go on the video for part 2 of episode 4, because I have part 1 on my YouTube. Part 2, for some reason, is just another one of my random videos. And I know for a fact that I put the correct video in when I made that video, because I've watched my video before, just because I really like this series. But now, for some reason, it's a completely random video, and I can't explain it. But pretty much, the second half, episode 4 for this game, if you don't know what this game is, it's a story game. It's chapter 4, episode 4 is like over 2 hours long, I would say. So I split it up for my videos. So the last like over hour of footage is just completely gone in the abyss, in the void. It's probably been deleted. I don't know. This was like over 5 months ago when I played this game, when I first played it. So I can't explain. I really can't explain where, why, what happened. So let's just get into episode 4. I was originally just gonna do the same decisions for part 1, but I didn't feel like that made sense since my second part, like the second half of episode 4, I can't remember what decisions I made. So I'm just gonna play it again and treat this as my canon playthrough. Stuff happened, it's life, so this is the best I could work with. Let's get into it, and let's see what happens. I don't remember everything that happened, and I don't even know if I'll make all the same choices, but hey, at least I get another video out of this. Yes, let's give a full recap, just so everyone who's knows about the game can kind of like see what I've done with my choices. The funeral of Pearline Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt. Seems like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few of the rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. And then obviously, yes, I did break into the estate, the West Wing I think it was called. As the locks fall to the doors moan open, revealing the entrance to what once must have been an incredibly lavish ballroom. Faintly in the distance, you can hear the quiet notes of an old piano playing from another room. So what do you say? Want to tag along? And then obviously I went Stella. Stella is the character that I'm trying to romance in the game. Hold the camera for me while I narrate the thing, darkening aside, that sort of thing. And she's obviously the best character in the game. Oh yeah, and then Duke was here for a short amount of time. I'm not gonna reread all of this. I might, at least for this, I do have my playthroughs of this somewhere on my channel. Okay. And then obviously I chose to save Gretchen. That's the only obvious answer there. And then yeah, Duke dies. And then yeah, the cops hate me in this. Oh, okay, and then there's Wayne. And then I got the info. And then I actually have a good relationship with Tabitha. Okay, this might not seem like it, but I do. And then yeah, this was episode 2. Everyone, okay, and then yeah, I have Avery on my side. Oscar's chill, I've been talking with everyone. So let's just keep going. Just kind of skip through chapter 2. It was interesting, but it's kind of like not too many different things can happen. I guess they can. I guess a lot of different stuff can happen, but You know, that's enough of a recap. I don't need more of a recap. Yeah, and then we met Duke's kid, and then I had breakfast with Stella. Let's just get into episode 4 because, you know. Oh yeah, and then I guess this is the important one. I gave up like my life or some years of my life. So I lose years of my life. I'm sure you have no question about everything you saw tonight. And then I'm talking to Sybil today. And then yeah, I raise up Stella, but she still needs her time. So I have no idea what happened to my footage. I actually can't explain. It irks me because I remember watching. Do not. It's fine. Do not. It's not fine. I'll be right back. I'm gonna double check my footage again because this has driven me insane. So that's enough distractions. Let's just get into this video. Your limbs are heavy, and your heart struggles to keep up with your movements. You feel like you've lost something that was important to you. What did I pick before? Let's not do that. Let's treat this like this is my first time playing this. Um, this is great. I can't wait to finally be dead. This is how I feel. Perhaps the events of the week have taken a particularly nasty toll on you. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hey, just wanted to check in. Hope you're doing okay. Also wanted to ask if you've heard from Stella. You check your messages, there's nothing from Stella. Let me call her. Hey, what's up? Haha, just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually a recording of my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? Anyway, leave a message or don't. I never check this thing. The mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time. Text her. Hey, you good? Morning, hot stuff. Hey, I'm kind of worried about how you ran off last night. Text me as soon as you get the chance. That Wayne guy didn't come after you, did he? Um... Hey, I'm kind of worried about after you ran off last night. Text me as soon as you get the chance. I think that's good. I mean, I know she told me, so at the end of the last episode, she told me she just needs some time to herself. But I know that Wayne said he is after her, so I just want to make sure she's okay. Um, she messaged me last night. I think, I'm worried about her. Seems like she has some stuff on her mind she needs to work through. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad at least someone's heard from her, but I'm still kind of worried. I forgot all my characters' voices too. It's a little odd for her just to dip with everything going on. I think we should go look for her. Let's meet up in town, okay? Looks like you have morning plans in order. Let me take a shower. The hot water soothes your aching joints. Despite the state of the bathroom, this shower is a good place. And it rinses your body clean. Think about the clinic. Even now, you'll be going back there today, or sure of it. Think about Stella running off last night. Hopefully she's just sleeping. And yeah, I gotta think about Stella, obviously. I'm done here. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Check the closet. Visit the opossum. Let me check the opossum. Hello? You wave at them. They continue to stare up at you blankly in response. This is their home now and there's nothing you could do to change that. That's fine. You make your way to the closet. There's no denying it. Yep. But your long dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. It had to have been, Wayne. Something to mull over the rest of the day. Head downstairs. It's time to face your cousin. You find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. They're striking. This week of all weeks. As if I didn't have enough on my plate already. There's almost cool confidence in the way your cousin talks about the strike. Um... Talk about the strike. Do you want me to help smooth things over? I'm pretty good at negotiating. People always help me out with stuff like this vast nicely. You seem confident about the strike. What have you got planned? If I'm being honest, I'd rather you didn't know. If I'm being honest, I'd rather you didn't know. I can handle it on my own. There's no need for you to get your hands dirty by involving yourself. You don't have to know the things I do to stay on running. Do you want me to help smooth things over? Yeah, let me do that. After losing my footage, I am just gonna pick whatever I want and have fun and treat this as a canon. Because I don't care anymore. Because I genuinely don't understand what happened. And not even the fact that the video was gone, it's the fact that chapter 4, I know I've talked about this so many times already, but chapter 4, it's not saved on my file. I don't know how. I literally saved it, but it's not there. So I don't know what happened. It just disappeared from existence. Do you want me to help you smooth things over? I'm pretty good at negotiating. People always help me out with stuff like that if I ask nicely. Wait, do you think that's because you're good at negotiating? Has nobody told you that's because you're... Never mind. Look, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not sure that's the sort of thing you'd be able to pull off. Even if they didn't already know you're my cousin, you getting involved would be a great way to throw gasoline on a fire. This is my problem to fix. Your only job is to stay safe until the funeral is over. I don't think that's why the ditchlings were here. Do you know what the strikers even want? Yeah, do you even know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if any one of them were my shoes for a month, they'd be singing different, dude. uh, I can't believe the gala these people. With everything going on, it's hard to care about something as mundane as a strike. That is true, though. Yeah, you're in a really difficult spot right now. Gee, I hadn't noticed. Yeah, I'm just trying to be helpful. Return. Talk about what happened last night. So ghosts are real. I still can't get over that. Oh my god, this game always makes my eyes itchy. I don't know why. I really enjoy this game though. I actually really like it. I didn't think making a deal with the ghost would feel so physically bad. I thought I was making a metaphorical trade. Um, I still can't get over that. I actually really like Tabitha. I like her character development. She has really good character development. What does that actually change about anything? You're a Scarlet. You're probably going to die young anyways, and I still have a man to run. Okay, well, why do you gotta be mean when I'm saying you're nice? It feels good, doesn't it, getting rid of something our family's left behind like that? I can't believe you're saying that. Have you looked in the mirror? Why does making her sound British? Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her. No, but that's not exactly newsworthy. I'm sure she's just processing what's happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized. If the mine's in trouble, you should just sell it. Yeah, sell everything while you can. Tabitha bristles. I'm not giving up like that. This is the Scarlet Mine. I'm not going to cash out on our family's legacy. I'm bringing the mine back to life, one way or another. You probably should get going, right? Yeah. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks. But let me know if you get in trouble, okay? Yeah, she's nice. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Fuel up with a quick PB&J. Hell yeah. Your affliction will affect your appetite. You make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. Head to town. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. God, I already forgot most of the small, like, dialogue options in this game, so I feel like for those ones I'll just pick whatever, but the big stuff I still kind of remember, so I want to keep that the same. Because I think that obviously changes the story, whereas the small ones won't have as big of an impact. And hey, 5 months is a long time. I've changed a lot as a person, so I think it makes sense for my decisions to be different. The bird sounds different today, muffled like your ears are full of cotton. The dull sun shines down on the surrounding wilderness, seeming to wash the color from the world. But you're adjusting. Already your body's starting to accept the change as overcome it, to accept that as how things will be from here on out. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line. A feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day though. They're getting bolder. To your surprise, you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Hey, I was just coming up to see you. Hope you were able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. That's the ditchling. They don't say anything about your appearance, but you can see them take you in. The light of day revealing your new features clearly for the first time. Hot. They smile. Clearly they like what they see. You doing okay? The ghost may have stolen my youthful good looks, but couldn't take my hotness. My bone structure could never be lain low by mere aging. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I don't know if they've updated this game since the last time I played. If they've done like any like modifications on like the choices. I don't think so, but who knows. I did not pay attention to that. Yeah, my bone structure could never be laid low by mere aging. You got that right. What doesn't kill you makes you hotter, right? Hot flirt, so good to see your lovely face first thing in the morning. No, I want to be with Stella. You don't have to put on the front. Last night was a lot, I get it. Yeah, let me say that. I appreciate the concern, but I'm alright. You're talking to an expert at vibing. I know most folks would probably be freaking out or having some kind of existential crisis, but that's not how I deal with heavy stuff. Surprisingly enough, Avery is mostly telling the truth. They're fine. This game makes me stutter. I don't know why. This game just infects my brain somehow. I mean, I'm not 100% chill today, I'll admit it. I feel kinda bruised, both physically and spiritually, if that makes sense. But that's just part of life, right? Nobody makes it to then completely unscathed, and I'm glad my new emotional baggages come from a ghost instead of some boring normal trauma. The supernatural angle takes the edge off a little bit. Have you heard anything from Stella? Well, I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her last night was awful. She is usually so unflappable. Kadek and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Wanna come? Okay, let me say this first. There's ditchlings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. Avery turns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little sharpie faces. So should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but are they like dangerous? They're not going to eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? No, but you might get some eggs laid in your skin. Does anyone have a flamethrower? No, but you might get some eggs laid in your skin. Oh, is that all they do? That doesn't sound too bad. I think I could survive a parasitic larva or two. Just glad being eaten alive isn't on the table. I mean, is getting a parasite like that really any different from being eaten alive? They're still eating you, just more slowly and from the inside. Yeah. Sure, I get where you're coming from, but that's a pretty big difference. If a mountain lion gets me, that's just kind of it, you know? I'm sure the wonders of modern medicine could be able to yank a couple of eggs out of me. Heck, maybe I'd even be able to let the eggs hatch instead of just having them removed. It'd be sad to kill the babies, but at the end of the day, if it's me or them, I gotta go with self-preservation. Yeah, Avery is a bit weird, but they're chill. I like them. I would much rather be eaten. I was wondering when you'd finally say something really weird. I knew you seemed too normal to live here. Normal's boring. Hope's that not a deal breaker. Okay, but I'm not trying to flirt with you. Kanek and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Wanna come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I don't know how much time though. From what I saw this morning, there's already a few miners holed up in there. They must be using us home base for the strike. Oh, by the way, there's a strike going on. I'm sure you already know that, though. I have to imagine Tabitha would have told you this morning. Start back down the path to town. Let's head to town. Yeah, good idea. You and Avery start back the path to town. It isn't long until you once again find yourself on the main street at Scarlet Hollow. I forget what voice I had for Kaneka. Pressy Matt, you made it. I think that now I remember. And you picked up an Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like, emotionally. I think that's exactly how I said it the first time I played this. If someone watches my video from episode 4, part 1, because that one, like I said, is up there, let me know if I said it the same way. Yeah, I'm not too bad. That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joint's all out of whack. Totally exhausted and super foggy. Mama's been insisting I got a cold, and I wasn't buying it, but as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from looking for Stella. You're stylish as always, even the morning after being trapped in a nightmare realm. Do you think there could be a... No, there is not. Is someone manning the general store while we go looking for Stella? Mom and Miles can deal for another day while we go looking for Stella. This is important. Not that the store isn't, but if something happened to her and I was spending my time minding the register, I don't think I could live with that. Do you still think there could be a rational explanation for all of this? I was kind of surprised you reached out to me after all the issues between you and Tabitha. You sacrificed years of your life to exercise a ghost for people you hadn't met until, what, 2 days ago? That kinda outweighs whatever ongoing feud I have with your cousin. And I'm not going out there alone, because the last thing I want is to go missing while looking for someone who went missing. We do everything in groups from now on. People shouldn't be judged by their family anyways. Whatever people may think of your cousin has nothing to do with you. I'm surprised to see her mom. I'm supposed to see her. Oh yeah, I am. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read her fortune. After last night, I wouldn't doubt that she's actually could. Your mom's always had a bit of that Glinda vibe going for her. Yeah, maybe I should stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic thing. A lot's happened in the past couple of days. Oh, I need to take a page out of Stella's book and just block this shit out. I need to be focused. I can't have having all these existential crises. There'll be plenty of time for tea after we found Stella. Let's not dawdle. I'm worried about Stella and it doesn't feel right to be doing anything that isn't actively looking for her. Da-da-da, she's probably okay, just dealing with complicated emotions. Starting her last night, you don't think you actually followed through on that, do you? I'm just gonna say this, let's not dawdle. I'm worried about Stella and it doesn't feel right not doing anything that isn't actively looking for her. Agreed, let's get to work. Where to first? So these ones I will be doing probably in the same order, because I think I do remember the order that I did them in my first playthrough. I mean, I could always check my YouTube video, but I feel like that's kind of dumb to do. Let's go check out Stella's house. Good place to start. Maybe she just slept in. That's what I'm hoping. I'd have gone already, but I was kind of nervous about doing anything by myself today, just in case I ran into yet another horror from beyond the veil or whatever. You make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. This doesn't look like a break-in, it looks like somebody left the door open. Stella or someone else was in a hurry when they left. For the life of you, you can't remember if Stella closed the door behind her when the two of you left the library yesterday morning. We ate breakfast here together yesterday morning, but I can't remember if she closed the door. She must have, right? Okay, let me enter, not enter, let me say this. It's okay, don't worry about trying to remember. Hopefully we'll be able to clear up who left the door open when we walk in and see Stella, alive and well, just not answering our phone for some reason. Could be she came home last night and forgot to close it all the way. Happens to the best of us. Or maybe she couldn't close it because something happened to her before she had the chance. Ugh, I need to stop working myself up over nothing. It's just a door, it doesn't mean anything. Might as well invite ourselves in, right? Yeah, we should go in. Cool, I'll be brave and go first. The living room is almost exactly as you saw it the other day. The music really reminds me of Slay the Princess music. I know that's by the same creator, but you know, I like that. It's similar. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. Doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything, unless it happened in another room, or maybe someone or something caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm going to forget that you said that and just be thankful that this doesn't look like a crime scene. Let's investigate the kitchen. Stella's kitchen is messier than she left it yesterday. A couple cabinets are hanging open, and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Someone was here after Stella and I left yesterday. We didn't leave the kitchen like this. It doesn't look bad. Like, it looks kind of normal, honestly. I don't know, it's a little messy. This is a little messy. I don't know what you'd call my room. I wasn't judging. There's just nothing wrong with a little mess. Or a lot of mess. We're getting off track. Stella's house has always felt a little sterile to me. This feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. Though maybe that's just because I only ever been over when she was expecting me. Maybe this is just a rare peek behind the curtains at the real Stella. The real Stella should call her friends and let them know she's okay. Let's check her room. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Like, this isn't that bad. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. I'd better not hear a single comment about this room being messy. I wasn't going to say anything. Let's check her computer. You go to check Stella's computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping around on your computer. Isn't that invasion of privacy? We already broke into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some sort of clue on there, like a note detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. Well, maybe the computer was left open too. I'm with Avery. What if we don't find Stella and it's all because we didn't snoop on her computer? Okay, but what if she... like, I know it's an invasion of privacy, but we've got to do whatever we can to find her. Kaneka, got a point. You're no fun but fun. Honestly, didn't even think about. Good call. Look, I know it's an invasion of privacy, but we've got to do whatever we can to find her. Sure, snoop away, but I'm not going to take part in this. Kaneka's so annoying! I'll just be over here, standing in the corner of the room, not looking over your shoulder. Like, why does she have to talk like that? I'm not even bothering to say what she was saying, because, she's not a bad character, she's chill, but it's just I don't like some of her dialogue. Seems so, like, generic. Not in a bad way, just like her character is like, ugh. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic multi-layered display. Whoa, how do we find anything on here? You don't. Come on, let's go. Bruh, shut up. Look for something interesting. Check her open tabs. It would take you all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser, so numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon. The sea are rounded, featureless triangles from window edges to window edge. Her most recent open tab is the post of, that looks like Discord or something, Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum of cryptozoology enthusiasts. The post in question is titled something big is happening in Scarlet Hollow. Hey everyone, Was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good ideas? Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally staged. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has ever heard of except for your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Lucky Stars is the go. Since every low budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. I don't know what that means. I'm serious, I've got tons of extra footage. Look at what they've been doing to the animals in town. They're apparently some sort of bad omen like Mothman. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. Mothstan. I believe you. Let's go, Lucky Stars. Ugh, lucky you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. Sick. The thread continues in the next day. Hey, okay, so number one, this is an ARG. I would never. And number two, you're not going to believe this, but we went into an abandoned mine last night to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommy knockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. There's a link to an audio file titled Tommy Knockers Real. .wav. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. Two supernatural events on back-to-back nights. This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always going to sell out to big indie horror. This is Kidnapped by Aliens all over again. Also, lol, doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Stop cyberbullying her, or I'm going to call the mods. Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. The thread ends. Wow, poor Stella. Remind me never to be internet famous. Here's hoping my SoundCloud stays niche and underappreciated until the day I die. Check her search history. You check Stella's search history. She hasn't visited any website since Tuesday night. Is she so this should be Wednesday. Well, no, this is Thursday now because Wednesday was the ghost day. If she came home after last night's incident, she didn't touch her browser. Her search history is almost entirely work-related, a fewer series of queries for various monsters and cryptids that might fit the profile of ditchlings. That's that. Look for something interesting. You scan through folder and file names on Stella's desktop, looking for anything that might seem like it'd be interesting. One folder catches your eye, boring tax stuff. You're no fool, you've seen this folder before, you have this folder on your own computer. Boring tax stuff never contains boring tax stuff. For that matter, it never contains anything related to taxes, and its contents are never boring. Open the folder. Aw, that's cute. You open the folder, you're surprised to find it contains a carefully mapped out diagram of the Scarlet Hollow mines, including holes in fences and areas with low visibility. That is interesting. There's also a handful of old photos of Stella and Tabitha together as teenagers. Tabitha wears an uncharacteristic grin, an authentic joyful smile, and Stella's eyes are somehow brighter, less tired. Well, this was before her family died, so I guess that makes sense. Both of them seem to be living in a happier time. Okay, I take it back, this is way too personal. I'll just join Connect on the corner while you wrap things up. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Love seeing someone's room before they had a chance to clean up. Like a snapshot, no. I don't think there's any clothes here. I don't think so either. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. It could use a few more houseplants. I'll put together some trimmings after we found her. She still does the corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings up on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyways. That's cool. You turn to leave Stella's house. Okay, so maybe she came home last night, maybe she didn't, but she's definitely missing. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I hope she would just be sleeping in. I can't believe she's actually missing. We'll find her. Where to next? We should go to the cops, right? Okay. Okay, so last time I think I missed out on an option just because I have like I'm injured from doing the deal with the ghost. But let's see what's gonna happen this time. We should go to the cops, right? Are you sure? Nothing against the officers of Scarlet Hollow, but you've met them, right? Do you think it's worth the trouble? As unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything. But there's no point in covering all our bases. And not covering all our bases. That is true. The police station is exactly what you'd expect from the town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. We're also not alone here. You enter to find a worried Bo standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Let me get this right. You're trying to report a missing pumpkin? Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Sheriff Hugby, sir. She was gonna be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to me. Are you sure it was Julius and not some enterprising bear that got hold of it? Y'all know Julius thinks the land belongs to him. He probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door. For all I know, he might be all the way to the state fair by now with our pumpkin. Ain't there something y'all could do about it? I'm afraid we'll need at least some kind of evidence to go on before we could go barging into a man's home, son. Why don't you see if you can find something a little more solid for us to go on? Then we can see about helping out. I think, is that Earl? Or I don't know which was who. Whoa there, what happened to you? It ain't polite to comment on appearances like that. Ghost turned me old. What are you talking about? I've always looked like this. From a wrathful spirit, a great cost to myself. Ghost turned me old. That's all they need to know. Nah, I freed the library from a wrathful spirit, at great cost to myself. The officers stare at you for a moment, taking in what you've said. Looks like what happened when my wife takes her makeup off. Like, you guys are so annoying. Hugby laughs, slapping his knee, announcing to the room that he has told a great joke. Kanika, I think her name is Kanika. Hugby, come on, be nice. Freshman has been through a lot. Earl didn't mean anything by it. It's just injecting a little levity into the room. Smart and hot. Listen up, boys. Enough talking about my mature but dashing good looks. We got a missing person on our hands. This is a great combo. Stella hasn't been seen since yesterday, and the front door of her house was left open. That place was a mess. So you think you're really doing an investigation, do you? Coming in here like you have some kind of authority? Well then, why don't you march out and dig up some clues if you think you're such a big shot? Come on, I'm serious, it's dangerous out there. Yeah, I'm arguing with these guys. Are you serious? This is your job. Our job is keeping the peace around here, not meddling in other people's private lives. That's right. It ain't our job to babysit anybody. If Stella wants to run off in the woods, that's none of our business. She'll turn up. She always does. Oh, did you manage to find your dad? Bo's stoic expression breaks, and for a moment you can almost see tears forming in his eyes, but he blinks them away. Yeah, I found him. Hear that, Deputy Franklin? Sounds like you've got another report to close. Lucky me. I gather what there was to gather. We're giving him a proper burial in the family plot. It's been tough going trying to dig a hole while the farm is crawling with those hairless things, but it needs to get done. Do you think they'll go back where they came from soon? Ma and me have tried to fight them back as best as we can, but it seems like there's more every minute. I'm personally doing everything I can to send them packing. I know about as much as you do. I'm sure they'll leave soon, buddy. Sybil says they don't hurt people. I'm personally doing everything I can to send them packing. I'll do my part to help. I'll kick in as many of those nasty little faces as I can, but I don't know how many I could send scampering off. Seems like there's no end to those critters. What's all What's all this about a pumpkin? Seems Bo has misplaced a considerably large pumpkin. Have you all ever heard a word? Have you all heard? I apologize for my speaking right now. Have you all heard a word I said? I didn't misplace Big Betty. She was stolen, and I know who's done it, so I'd appreciate if y'all would give Mr. Tremaine a visit and set things straight. We're probably gonna go next episode to Tremaine, right? In 5, maybe Bo asks us. But I know in some of the other endings, what's his name? Doesn't die. Uh, the guy who died, his dad. I can't believe I forgot his name. Duke, yes, Duke. So if he's alive, I think they could keep the pumpkin safe. I don't know. So maybe you could end up going either way. I don't know. And I'm telling you, we can't just barge into your neighbor's house just because we want us to. What makes you think Mr. Tremaine stole it? Yeah, what makes you think he stole it? Or why is this pumpkin so valuable? Me and my daddy put a lot of work into that pumpkin. She was near 2,000 pounds, a guaranteed blue ribbon. Naturally, our first question is how an old man like Julius Tremaine manages to move a pumpkin that size. Makes the whole story just a little difficult to believe. I don't know how Julius managed it, but I just know it must have been him. He ain't even come into his store to answer for what he done. At the very least, he could give me seeds from what's left of her. Raising her was the last thing Daddy and me did together. That's interesting, because I haven't seen Julius since Tuesday. He's usually in the diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning Joe. So maybe he isn't a thief. Could be something happened to him. If we ain't the thief, then who stole our pumpkin? Beats me. I just don't think folks should be so quick to jump to conclusions. How'd even move... how'd even move a 2,000-pound pumpkin? I don't know how he did it, but he did. You sure it wasn't a bear? Well, no bear. We're hunted folk. We know the signs. This is a man's work. And that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family. What makes you think Mr. Tremaine stole it? You're poking out wasps' nests, Frosty Matt. There's 100 years of history here. He's been claiming Big Daddy was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. The Callaways and Tremaines have long been at this a long time. They can never agree on whose land is whose. Oh wait, I thought that was him saying it. It ain't just the first time we've heard of something like this, and we get our fair share of calls from Julius Tremaine too. You know, Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never pegged him as a thief. There's probably a monster who is stealing stuff from both properties and like killed Tremaine and is living in his house. That's my predictions for the next episode. Or maybe that'll be episode 6, because it looks like episode 5 we're starting off in the mansion. But I think episode 6 we're doing Avery's party. I think it was Saturday night, or was it Friday night? I don't remember. I didn't know Julius ever talked to anybody. Talk is a strong word, but I like to think we had some kind of understanding. You want me to go over there and kick his ass for you? If you're related to Julius, why can't you just put your differences aside and get along? Someone's got to be a bigger man. In jail, why can't you just look into this? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't think Bo's asking you to throw Julius in jail or anything. Why can't you look into this? Frosty-Man's right. I ain't asking for much. Bo, if we went down that road, I'm sure Julius would come down here tomorrow and have a whole list of his own complaints, and all of them would sound just as justified as yours. Sometimes it's best just to let things work themselves out. Jeez, these cops suck. But it sounds like Bo has a real case here. It's not just two neighbors having an emotional dispute. Property's been stolen. Couldn't you get involved on his behalf just this once, after everything he's been through this week? You say that like this is the first time one of these food and farm folk have come in here about missing vegetables. We've heard it all. And what we've learned is best to keep our noses out of it. I'm sure Bo here will be unsatisfied with whatever the legal system feels is just punishment for stealing Big Betty. But You're just admitting that if he made a crime, it's not that you want to punish him. You're saying he wouldn't be satisfied. That's stupid. It doesn't matter what happens. If we do anything, Julius will be storming in here next day with the complaints on his own. Heck, he'll probably come down here regardless. Yep, and it'll be just about a missing butternut squash or what have you that he sure made it into soup on the Callaway side of the property line. You know, even if Julius didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check. Alright, let me speak in plainer terms. Everyone knows that Julius Tremaine land is booby-trapped to hell. It's not worth it. That's never stopped me. Do you have kids, Avery? Because I've got 2 teenage girls at home. Hugby's got grandkids. Franklin's got the mayor, I guess. I'm not about to risk getting my head blown off of a pumpkin. That's right. There's some sleeping dogs you learn just to let lie. I've been Scarlet Hollow Sheriff for over 20 years now. You don't hold a position like that for so long without learning a few lessons on temperance and moderation. If I may, sirs, ain't that a bit cowardly? Wait, if I may, sirs, ain't that a bit cowardly of you? I thought police officers were supposed to be brave. Not the only ones that live very long, son. Look, I've been to Julius 100 times. I can tag along and make sure nobody gets hurt. That's mighty kind offer, but let's give it another day. There's no need to escalate things when they might just resolve themselves. I feel like last time I did this conversation was not this long. Okay, so we might actually be able to get the cops to come with us to Tremaine's. That would be helpful. That might happen tomorrow or the next day then. Right, folks, part of a cult, and this is why you aren't doing your jobs. Screw it. The police officers stare at you, perplexed. Oh, I don't think we have that sort of thing up here. We are doing our jobs. Just look at Franklin back there. He's filing all kinds of paperwork pertaining to what happened up at the mines. You know, I can't say I appreciate your tone. Sounds like you're accusing us of some kind of indecency. What do you think we go up into the hills and do seances and rituals and all sorts of things? Get your head out of the clouds. It's like you folks are busy. We'll be on our way. Let's just get going. Well, no one can say we didn't try. Let's keep looking. Have a good one, officers. Same to you, kid. Do you really think Hugby and Derrickson could be a part of some cult that secretly runs Scarlet Hollow? That'd be wild. I'd never suspect them of that sort of thing. Seems like it'd be too much work. Was my voice very good? As someone who's lived in this town my entire life, there's no way. For one thing, cult activity like that, what you're describing, just doesn't happen. I've done my fair share of reading on satanic panics and so-called occult groups, and it's almost always totally made up. People constantly freak out about Satanists without realizing they're just a bunch of debate club nerds who listen to heavy metal. So instead of not being able to rely on the cops because they're part of a cult that secretly runs a town, we can't rely on them because they're just not that good at what they do? That's so much less exciting, but either way, I guess it's up to us to solve the mysteries of Scarlet Hollow. Well, we'll do a much better job anyways. Where to next? Where should we go next? What do we want to do next? Yeah, we should check in with Oscar. He's smart, maybe he'll know what to do. Hope nothing else happens after we all went home last night. They're so brave for sleeping in the house after everything we went through. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than someplace that was that haunted. Your mom said it's safe, and I'm inclined to believe her. Why would she lie? But how would she know that? Magic, probably. But there's only one way to find out. Let's go. Morning light streams in through the library's large windows in the bright daylight. It's once again a place of comfort, all menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. No ghost, thank God. I was not up for an encore. Yeah, it's gone, just like your mom said it would be. I guess Oscar must be in back. I know that's where it'd be if I finally got my house back. I've always been surprised at how unsupervised this place is. Sometimes it feels like anyone could just walk in and do whatever they wanted. Like what, steal books? I mean, they could, right? I'm not saying anyone would. I'm just saying that people in this town trust each other a lot. It's nice. Oh my god, my glasses are still dirty. You make your way back towards the annex. It feels strange to be back here in the light of the day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. This hallway really takes me back. It feels like it was only yesterday that we were last here, blissfully unaware that our entire lives were about to change forever. It was only yesterday. I know. Kaneko knocks on the door. Oh, good morning. It's so good to see all of you. Frosty Matt. He takes in the sight of you standing in the bright corridor. You could hear his guilt in the way he said your name, and you can see it in his eyes now. I hope you're doing well this morning. Please come in. I know I remember flirting with Oscar a lot, but I didn't want anything with him. It's just fun flirting with the characters. You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave. You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5, but you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. You're like so badass. Alexis is right. This is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives. And you take it like a champ. Dr. Kelly's kind demeanor vanishes as she turns and glares at you. Oh, I see we have visitors. But her glare vanishes as she takes in your new visage. Her features soften into a look of shock and concern. Mr. Gutierrez told me what happened last night, and I must admit that I found it hard to believe by your face. It definitely looks like you've had years stolen from you. Whatever that means, I'm concerned. I'd like to give you a physical. Of course, I understand your interest in my body, and let's go somewhere private. Anything you say, Doc. Shall we go somewhere private? This is just so funny. So wait, you just believe a ghost stole years of my life? Sure, there's plenty of evidence that something happened to you right in front of me. So are you going to get your physical? Yes please, thank God. I need someone to fix me. Flirt. Of course, I understand your interest in my body. Let's go somewhere private. I had to say that. Dr. Carey glances to the side in embarrassment. What? No, not here. The clinic, as soon as you get the chance. I only have a few other appointments today, so just stop by whenever is convenient. You should really be taking this seriously. Her examination finished, Dr. Kelly returns to Rosalina's side. How is she, Doc? She can tell you herself. What do you say, Rosalina? How are you? Tired, my leg hurts a lot, but the medicine is helping. It's not so bad now. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night, and you have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, Frosty Matt. Yay. I can't believe you got any sleep last night after all that. Ghost stuff. I just sat on the couch with all the lights on. I don't think I slept at all. I really needed some rest after, the hospital and my foot. Your body is desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never gonna stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. So, what are you not gonna do today? Anything? That's right, you're staying right here. No walking around, no investigated haunted houses. Sorry, Dr. Kelly, I should have been better at stopping her. I take full responsibility. As her father, I should have. No need for anyone to step in and take the blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. It's gross negligence if you ask me. But give it time, then you can do all the activities you want. Alright, Rosalina? Apparently didn't come back for an encore. Not as far as I know. I slept in Rosalina's room, and I made sure to put some heavy objects on top of the hatch, just to give myself a little extra peace of mind. But thanks to you, I didn't see or hear anything all night. I think we're in the clear. I didn't see anything either, but if something did happen, I wouldn't know. I was asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. I'm too tired to worry about ghosts anymore, to be honest. Losing a limb will do that, especially if you decide to tromp around the next day like nothing happened. I would have been fine if it weren't for Charlie. Good thing he's gone then, and let's hope he stays gone. Why does everyone seem so chill? Shouldn't y'all be traumatized? Have any of you seen Stella since last night? Ah, since dinner. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? She texted me last night, but I haven't heard from her since. I felt terrible. This is my fault, isn't it? I should have done a better job warning her. Stella's practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you're gonna be able to stop her. There's no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. I don't even think she knew how she'd react. And besides, you didn't know how bad it was gonna get. You can't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes that's just not gonna be possible. You're only one guy. That's what Rosalina was saying. I suppose I do apologize more than I should. You really do. Um, how's Reese? Had a rough night, but he'll recover. Okay. He just need a couple days to get back to his feet. That means no more excitement, not even a movie. I'm sorry to hear that, Dr. Kelly. Um... Okay, but what if I wanted to hang out with you? Dr. Kelly stills a in confused silence for a few seconds. I'm busy. Why does everyone seem so chill? Okay. There was one in the mines the other night too. Both of them had a sort of pull on me. Whatever they are, there's something like them in your clinic. I felt it last night. You can feel Dr. Kelly's demeanor shift. She's grown quiet, her haze, perceiving, and analytical. Hmm. Have you ever noticed anything weird at the clinic? No, it's just an old building. It has a lot of history, but that doesn't mean it's haunted or that anything supernatural is going on. I understand that there have been some strange events in Scarlet Hollow this week, but despite what your funny feeling might suggest, the clinic is safe. But if something does happen at the clinic, aren't you worried about Reese? If it's anything like what happened to us last night? None of you have to concern yourselves with my son's health. I know how to take care of him, even in a supposed ghost emergency or whatever it is you're worried about. Remain silent. So you've got your meds, goes outside a cat to keep you company. Seems like you're all set. Make sure you do a whole lot of nothing today. I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly. Yeah, thanks again for coming down to see us, Joanna. Not a problem. I'd much rather she stay put than have to go in and out of cars. I'll call later today to see how things are going. Hope the rest of the week is less eventful for the both of you. Goodbye, Rosalina. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay? Guys, it's Jordy again. And I hope you take me up on my offer, Frosty Matt. I'm concerned about you. And then she pushes past you to leave Oscar's house. We'll let you kids have some space. Alexis, why don't you figure out a restful activity for you and Rosalina? Will do, Mr. Gutierrez. I brought some video games and puzzles from my house, and some movies too. Whatever you want to do, Rosalina. Oscar ushers you down back to the library. What's up? Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine, or at least much better than yesterday. I can't thank you enough, Frosty Matt. I'd like to be as helpful as I can from here on out. Now that our little situation is dealt with, I finally have time to dig into the town archives. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. The mine collapse the other night was at the site of a massive grave. With enough research, maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of the next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. That is assuming there's going to be a next crisis, but something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. We should compare notes. Not that I have any to start off with, but if you know anything that might narrow down my research, it could save me a lot of time. I don't think we actually know that much more than you do, but I've got some hunches. I can't help but feel like there must have been some inciting events, since everything started getting weird, seemingly overnight. What that inciting event was or where to start looking for it, I have no idea, but it's something to keep in mind. Avery stares at you. I mean, it's obvious, right? Things only started happening once Frosty Bat got here. Tanika shoots Avery a glare. No, we're not throwing Frosty Bat under the bus. What? That's nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst. Sure, there's probably nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with saying someone's a magical catalyst. And people get the wrong idea. We're only a couple of steps away from the whole town deciding to shaw him. Nobody's going to drag Frosty Matt in a witch hunt on my watch. That'd be cool for one of the endings that could happen. I like to think we've outgrown the days of running people out of town on rails. I'd rather play it safe. Don't worry, it's not like I'm going to run around town telling everyone that Frosty Matt magicked a bunch of terrified disasters into existence. But there's a catalyst for all of this. Why wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, Frosty Matt, getting into town isn't the only major event that's happened lately. Perlane died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time he arrived. Not to mention, I started seeing things in our house before Perlane passed. I think I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. If there's a root cause for all of this, hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there has been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. Those carvings I warned Dr. Kelly about are important. I wonder if this could be the work of some cult. I will always keep my suspicion of the cult. Really not letting your cult theory go, are you? No. I don't know, I'm just throwing things out here. Know any local cults that could be responsible? I think the cops are in on it. I do not trust the cops. As someone who spends a lot of quality time with Scarlet Hollow's finest, those fellas couldn't keep a secret to save their lives. You wouldn't believe some of the things I've overheard while pouring coffee, but never any mention of some secret society or weird religious cult, unless bowling counts. Bowling could be a cover for something, but they just seem so, what's the word I'm looking for? Ineffectual? Exactly. If they are a part of a cult, I doubt would really have to worry about him. She just offered free medicine. Those carvings I warned Dr. Kelly about are important. Do you think there was something like that under my house all this time? And do you think someone must have put it there, but who? And there was one in the mines, and if you're right, there's one in the clinic. Maybe that's what I should be focusing on right now. How many of those things are there? Ever lucky, maybe just those 3, but I'd rather not count on it. Good thing Frosty Matt has an open appointment with the doc. You should look around for clues while you're there. He's out of there before something bad happens to him. I'm gonna break into the clinic and see what I find before something bad happens to him. That sounds terrifying, but maybe necessary. No, I veto this. We don't want a repeat of last night. We should be more cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it's to help a friend. Hopefully a warning text is all he needs to get himself out of there. I'd like to think that, at the very least, would let him know to be careful. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or 2 to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? You have a carving right here. Maybe studying it can give us some new leads. Not a chance. I know the ghost is probably gone for good, but that thing is evil, and if there's even the slightest chance that going back down there triggers something, it's not worth disturbing. At least not until we know more. My daughter's safety comes first right now. We finally have our house back, and I'm not taking any risks until we know what we're dealing with. No arguments here. Oh, I might get grabbed by ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces? Yeah, the English doughboys. I kinda like them. It's like a hidden object game out there today, with all the weird little faces peering out of the bushes. Like them, are we talking about the same creatures that have been laying eggs in the local wildlife? I don't want to get friendly with them or anything, I just think they're kinda interesting. Each their own. Will do. I can't imagine how devastated Rosalina would be if something were to happen to him, especially after everything she's been through. Yeah, we need to find Stella and fast. Her brazen energy if we're going to do anything sleuthing. See you around, Oscar. Let us know what you find. I will. You pause before leaving, your eyes lingering for a moment. If there's anything else you'd like to say to Oscar, you should say it out before you leave. I have nothing more to say, I'm not flirting. Good to know that you have an open invitation to the clinic today. Finding Stella should be our priority, but it wouldn't hurt to check on Reese later. It wouldn't hurt for you to get a checkup either. Before you can suggest your next move, you start to feel woozy. Spots form at the edges of your vision, your legs suddenly feel unstable, your body sending you clear signals of exhaustion. And then it passes. Still, it probably won't be long before your body needs a chance to rest. You should plan your next move wisely. So I think last time I did this, but because it is my first playthrough, but I already know what happens with that, I'm gonna just pick one more. Where do I want to go? Church, mine, or diners? We should go to the mines, check in with Tabitha. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find her cousin since they're friends. You don't see it? Oh, come on. The two of them have such a dynamic, you know, classic dog and cat situation. Come on, I'll drive us. Yeah, I guess I never thought about it. I am going for Stella, which is Tabitha's ex. You follow Kanika to your van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet mines. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. Is this a strike? They're striking. There was a whole group of them talking about it in the diner yesterday. Seems like the collapse was the last straw for some folks. Good for them, but I kind of thought there'd be more of them, you know? I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Don't worry, I know these guys. Most of them are in the diner. At least a couple days a week, they'll be chill. Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Well, if it isn't the boss's cousin. You might have had us fooled the other day, but words get around fast. Have you noticed I'm old now? I exorcised a ghost from the library last night at a great personal cost. I could keep telling people this. I guess you look a little different. You look like any old Scarlet to me. Holly and Hail. What? Hail and well met, fellow countrymen. What goes on here? Have you guys seen Stella? She's missing. We haven't seen her, and we've been out here all day, so we know she'd come by. Oh no, this isn't looking good. It's okay. Just because she hasn't seen them today doesn't mean something bad happened to her. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. I need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross the picket line? You don't have to literally cross the picket line to get inside. The map you found on Stella's computer was practically a handbook for breaking into this place. Yeah, I could always just sneak in. Okay, but you'll let me in though, right? Come on, what harm could I possibly cause by going in there? I have my cousin's phone number. I'm staying at her house. Unless I checked, she knows you're all striking. I'm gonna sneak in. That sounds more fun. But I know, I'm gonna just use straight smart, but I do want to save here, because that sounds interesting. Come on, what harm could I possibly cause by going in there? I have my cousin's phone number. I'm staying at her house, and last I checked, she knows you're all striking. Alright, fine. What's the harm? Go ahead. I don't care if they're okay with you going in. I'm still not crossing a picket line. Besides, I don't think Tabitha would be too happy to see me. I'll wait by the van while you go talk to her. Same, everyone who works here is a regular at the diner. I don't want to make things weird. See you on the other side. The industrial noises of Scarlet Mine are only a little quieter than they were 2 days ago. The trailer that serves as Tabitha's office looms above you on the hill. Knock. You wait for a moment. No response. Oh, for the love of... The door swings open. Oh, it's you. Should I go? Yeah, and try not getting yourself noticed. Try not to get yourself noticed. It sounds like Tabitha's found a rat. Rodriguez pauses before he leaves. Whoa, 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 what happened to you? It's a Halloween costume. Huh, really? Could have fooled me. Halloween's not till Monday, and that's some high quality makeup work. It's a Halloween costume. Don't make me repeat myself. Rodriguez the rat, I see. Hey, do you have a minute? It's important. I'm telling. I can make some time. Should I? I already said you can leave, Rodriguez. We'll talk more later. The door clicks closed as Rodriguez leaves Tabitha's office. Tabitha heaves a heavy sigh. Please just forget I saw anything, okay? I can handle this on my own. I'm not going to undermine you. We're good, Tabby. I don't think you actually have to do much in the way of breaking. There aren't many of them out there. Um... Ooh. I'm not going to undermine you. We're good, Tabby. Yeah, there's not much she could do, especially right now, and I need her on my side. Thanks, I know I haven't given you many reasons to be kind to me, so I really appreciate you choosing to be that way, even if I'm not very easy to get along with. I'm sure you didn't come all the way down here to talk about the strike. Why are you here? Don't get me wrong, it's nice to see a friendly face, but you shouldn't be up here. This is my battle to fight. Stella is missing. We've been looking all over for her and don't have any leads. Stella is still missing. We've been looking all over town for her and don't have any leads. Tabitha groans. You don't think Wayne... That's what I'm worried about. That he been... You said yourself he didn't have it in him. Okay, but what if I was wrong and he does have it in him? Stella's been known to disappear for days while she's doing her videos, but I think we both know that's not what's going on. I'll see if I can figure something out. I'm going to keep looking for Stella. I'll see you tonight. Let me know when you find her, okay? I don't want to sit around worrying about her all day. Tabitha's phone buzzes. I better get back to work. Stay safe out there, Frosty Matt. Call me if you run into more trouble, but please don't go looking for any today, okay? I don't need you going missing too. So she actually likes me, yay. You leave the office, closing the door behind you. You find Kaneka and Avery waiting for you outside. You don't look like you found any new leads. It feels like we've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive us back to town and we can figure out our next moves from there. Where to next? As you consider your next move, your vision blurs again, but this time it persists. The weakness in your knees returns, your ears fill with static, and you can feel yourself swaying, unable to control your body. It seems the toll of the pact you made last night is finally catching up with you. Whoa, you don't look too good. Your body crumbles to the ground. Oh shit, the general store's just around the corner. Let's get you inside. The bell at the general store jingles welcomely as your companions drag you across the threshold. You can faintly make out the unintelligible mumbling of what must be voices, and then you fade out once again. You come to in a chair and see the tea room. Sybil sits across from you, a gentle smile of relief washing over her face as you regain consciousness. It's dark here, the sunlight filtering through the heavy curtains, weak and watery, partially supplemented by the bright glow row lights over the plants in the corner. Welcome back. It's just the two of us now. I'm afraid Avery had to go help out the diner, and Kanika's getting some much needed bed rest upstairs. I went ahead and made you some tea, dear. It should help you a bit with your condition. Your eyes drift down to the cup of freshly brewed tea in front of you. It smells light and citrusy with undertones of decaying earth. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. Don't expect it to change your gray hairs back, but at the very least, it should make it easier for your mind and spirit to adjust to some of the physical changes you've gone through. Hopefully you'll be a little less exhausted and a little less prone to passing out. And when you're finished, we can use the leaves for a reading, on the house of course. Until then, why don't we just chat? Sip your tea. You take the sip, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines with the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down for generations of hillfolk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. The other day promised to tell me, what was it, unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did. Though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pauline was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with a more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But her mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Perlane and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. Okay. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. When my mom and she found out she was pregnant, she came to me for advice. She was distraught. It came like she'd been handed down a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what happened to her own mother, maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed her mother worries had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew, but the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. I feel like I know about the women in my family, but what about the men? They even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. He might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once our grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar to Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it. What with skipping town and all. Quit yanking me around. You have something to tell me, just come out and say it. Quit yanking me around. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have the pieces of puzzle, but the leaves should help give me the full picture. Finish the tea. The tea is gone before you know it. It's a small cup empty save for what's left of the dehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Sybil wasn't lying when she said it would help your condition. You still feel aged and worn, but you're a little less tired and a little less mentally sharper than you were a few minutes ago. Oh good, glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good, it's one of my more medicinal blends. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. Every warning I can find at the bottom, a cup, cross kettle, hourglass, all of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure, but we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, an enemy lurking in plain sight. How do I know you're not the... Nah, I remember just spamming this. I remember this is one thing I did. Because you never know. There's always a chance. The cat could be Tabitha. Or it could be Wayne. Because he says he's there to protect me, but how do I know? He follows me wherever I go. He says he's my friend, but I'm not sure that's true. But we're in love and I trust him. He says he's my friend, but I'm not sure that's true. It's not. Don't trust a word out of that man's mouth. Okay, so either I have to trust Sybil or Wayne, but I doubt he the cat. The cat implies a certain level of two-facedness that I don't think he possesses. But he says he trusts, or he says, yeah, he says that I should trust him. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming our way, and it's likely that's connected to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counterattack whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stone carving seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out, piece together what you can from your vision, and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any other around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Drift to the door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper in the clinic. Even just remembering enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's the other side. You can find Stella later, maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. You didn't get all this from the tea leaves. Of course she didn't. She's smart. She knows how to deduct things from the leaves. Of course not. The leaves are merely a guide. Sometimes they can help confirm suspicions or fill in where my intuition falls short. My family has lived in these hills a long time, as has yours. I know the Scarlets have secrets. I know Vivian was scared for you, but your place in all this is something we have to figure out together. And that's where little tricks like little tea leaves come in handy. But we shouldn't digress. Do you know where you might find the next stone? Oh, oops. Ugh. I think I found another in the clinic, but bad stuff always happens around them. I shouldn't seek out any more of them. These stones need to be left undisturbed. But bad stuff always happens around them. What happens around these stones might not be anywhere close to what could happen if we let the danger encroaching on both you and this town act unopposed. The ditchlings are multiplying every day. This is all going to come to a head, and it may be just a question of how prepared you are when it comes. Learning whatever you can save your life, even if you're faced with more ghosts or ghouls along the way. I think that'll all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it's just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. You helped last night, why don't you come with me? This wasn't helpful at all. I don't trust her, but, I don't want, yeah, wait, you helped me, why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through the spirit's illusion, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman, I have a trouble in my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you. Some use I'd be struggling to climb over the rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all the crouching. Thanks, I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it, I hope all goes well, and I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. Sybil gets up from the table, and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, oh, I just read that right. According to your tea, the cat's getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Sybil closes the door to the tea room, the bell of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. Talk to Miles, talk to Kanika. Let's talk to Miles. Is your mom a witch? Yeah, she's way too obvious about it if you ask me. It's pretty cool though. Ghosts are real, just thought you should know. Yeah, no, I have YouTube. So Connect has a cold. Nah, I'm done hanging around rocks after the whole thing in the mine. So Connect has a cold, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Why do you like my sister or something? Maybe I don't. I haven't thought about it much. I mean, I don't like her. I mean, yeah, I don't like her. That's good. You could do way better than that. That's crazy. Checking on Kanika. You're going anywhere before checking. You're not going anywhere. You make your way upstairs. I'm not your mom. Oh, Frosty Matt, what's up? Uh, I'm going to the clinic. Hope, uh, yeah, I need to talk to you. It's important. Sorry, Frosty Matt. My mom was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it, or I'll wind up worse than tomorrow. It looks like you're on your own. Damn. You make your way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic.